So today we're going to be doing a 3-round mock draft. And the only way I'm doing 3 rounds is, well, if I don't have to do half the picks. Thank you, Alex, for joining me today for that.
Of course. Always excited to do it. We've been planning on doing this for a while. So
have we?
I mean, we've been planning on doing a mock draft for the past 2 weeks.
Okay, a mock draft.
So, yeah. Yeah, I think so. I would say that. But
I was like, I feel like we just talked about it today.
Well, I mean, we talked about the 3-round part.
Yes, the idea of a mock draft.
Right.
But to keep this simple, I'm going to be going first. Alex will go second. I will go third, and so on, so forth. We're going to be using Pro Football Network. If you're mad at the draft order, take it up with them. I don't care. I have the Carolina Panthers. I'm going to go with my top prospect on the board. Real easy for me. I'm going with Will Johnson. Well, JC Horn, stay healthy, please. Outside of that, who's playing corner? Who?
Nobody.
Who? That's right. I do think they brought in somebody because
they waiver wired 3 dudes. They claimed 3.
Yeah.
And Canales is like, I didn't really like what we had, so we're gonna see how these guys are.
Do you think Dane Jackson started on IR, but he's on like the designated to return?
Yeah, but even that, it's like, well, I was kind of hoping. I forgot about the fact that you like Will Johnson as much as I do.
Everybody does.
Yeah, I was kind of banking on the fact that you wouldn't take him number 1, but that is the smart move. Number 2 with Tennessee, a team that I don't think will be the number 2 spot, but again, we'll take it up with PFN later. I honestly think that the reason they'll be at 2, I don't think it would be a quarterback reason. I do think edge rusher is not an awful idea to address here. Nick Skouerton would be probably my top option in that. Otherwise, I would be looking at the offensive line. I still think that, 1 tackle doesn't solve the issue. And, Emory Jones is enticing, but I do worry about that arm length. I will be ending up going after Nick Skouerton, edge rusher out of Texas A&M, 280 pounds of pretty much, what we saw last year with Marshawn Nealand, but I think he could be even a slight bit better. And this team's looking for a little bit extra edge help for the future, and I think I just want to give it to him.
That's fair. Cool with that. New England Patriots. I think I'll go offensive tackle here. I'm going to go with the offensive tackle class. I think last week in my 2-round, I was like, okay, well, let's just go with whoever the top talent is on the board and see how the offensive tackle class looks in the 2nd round.
Right.
And I didn't necessarily like it. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take currently my top tackle in Kelvin Banks. It's really a 1A, 1B. I think Banks, dude's just built like a brick house, man.
6'4", 320. He is very condensed.
He is. Honestly, can't go wrong. Honestly, at this point, you can't go wrong with either like Will Campbell or Banks, and even Jones.
Yeah.
Who might be a guard.
Yeah. I mean, it just depends. Right tackle, left tackle. Have you watched Marcus Maboe, by the way?
I haven't, dude. I've been trying. I've been trying so hard, dude. I'll get there soon.
I wanted to be able to have a moment talking about him, but we will be. He's going to be selected eventually. But at pick number 4, Denver Broncos, they have a really good amount of options here. Ben Morrison's the one that's speaking most to me because I'm a sucker for creating no-fly zones, and I think Ben Morrison is just the perfect blend of feistiness, physicality, but also really good fluidity, and also he's been very tested as well. Did very well versus Marvin Harrison, arguably even better than Will Johnson. There's a lot of other options here, but I mean, I'm also a sucker for the idea of putting Travis Hunter on this team to keep him in Denver. Boulder's like right outside Denver. But I will be going Ben Morrison.
Okay.
Because I also think Travis is going to be a receiver in the NFL. So that's fair. It doesn't fit my narrative of the dynamic duos at boundary corner.
Man. Okay, so I think I know what I'm going to do.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I know what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
It's Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
So like
Ooh.
part of me I was trying to
Sure.
talk myself into my number 2 overall prospect.
Mason.
Yeah, but I mean they just spent all that money on Christian Wilkins.
Right.
Like that
Right.
interior is kind of all right. It's kind of all right.
Yeah.
So even if he ends up being a corner, that's cool. You get Jack Jones running mate.
Yeah.
If he ends up being a wide receiver, that's great. Devontae Adams is up there in years, even though he's still playing like he's in his prime.
Right.
It's going to eventually hit someday. So
Right.
makes the most sense.
I think Goj agrees. So at number 6 for the Giants, I think we all know the reason why y'all would be at number 6. It is Daniel Jones. Now, the thing is, I feel really comfortable with the quarterbacks in round 2. And at number 6, I just don't think I can pull the trigger on a QB. Shedeur Sanders, Carson Beck, those are certainly names that I would consider here. I'd also consider Jalen Daniels if he can stay entirely healthy for the year. I'd also consider Connor Wigman. I think all those guys deserve at least some form of consideration, but given the fact that I can name 4 QBs and one that I can almost guarantee you will be in the second, I feel like the value is going to be best there. So looking at the best players available, theoretically, it could be very fun to put Sexy Dexy with Mason Graham.
That would be very fun.
That would be a ridiculous duo, even though technically one's a nose tackle. But you guys catch my drift. But at the same time, I still kind of feel like getting a bigger possession receiver that is not Kenny Golladay. And hopefully this doesn't bring
He's
back
not even there anymore, dude.
I know, no, but like that's the last
Let
time
the ghost of Kenny Golladay rest.
He's haunted me at this point. Like T-Mac is certainly one that I could theoretically consider here. The only other name that I'd mention actually could be Emory Jones. Now, the offensive line coach you guys took from the Raiders has done an excellent job at developing offensive line talent. And if Evan Neal is not successful, the right tackle spot
Evan Neal not the starter?
Huh?
I'm pretty sure they're running out Luminor.
Yeah, Jermaine. I know Jermaine was dealing with some injuries in the offseason, though.
So was Neal, too, apparently.
Well, the only other position that I would actually take a peek at is boundary corner. They brought in today Adoree Jackson, so they still are showing like they're looking at it. But corner 4 at 6, that just doesn't make much sense to me. So it's a tough spot to play.
You have given this pick all the lip service in the world,
dude, because I have no idea what the best choice would be. That's the god honest truth. But honestly, you know what? Let's go offensive line. I haven't done it yet, but I do think, especially if there is some questionable thought in the room, that I think Emory Jones could be that type of guy who ends up being that right tackle for the future.
All right, Emory Jones going to the Giants. I swear, I knew my Arizona pick 5 minutes ago when you started talking.
I had no idea what I was doing for the Giants because I'm not taking a QB.
If I sat through that just not to get Mason Graham, I
was really close. I was really close to selecting Mason. So
I'm taking Mason Graham for the Cardinals. Yeah. This is perfect because they invested on interior players.
Shit. Well, no, that was a very good move. Now for the Washington Commanders, I am going to be going Will Campbell. Secure that offensive line. Don't overthink it. Let's get the left tackle in here. Both the LSU boys go top 10.
Yeah, that's actually who I would have liked at that pick.
Yeah.
For the Saints here at 9. I'm not too familiar with Derek Carr's contract. If they can get in or out of it
right
next season. I imagine they probably could get out of it. Might hurt a little bit, but there's also like Deshaun Watson out there, which is like, hey, we're not in that mess.
Right.
But with Kubiak there, I'm thinking maybe of going with someone who can be a after the catch weapon. I'm going with Luther Burden. This might be a little nutty.
Yeah.
But golly, I like it. Suddenly, like this wide receiver core, like already with like Olave and Shaheed, you're like, yeah, we fast. Maybe we got something in like Bubs or Perry. I'm like, screw those guys. Let's get elusive. Let's get nutty. Let's get a guy we can move all over the field.
Right.
Let's get our Debo.
Yeah, I mean, at over 210 pounds at 5'11", that is.
I mean, he's not quite Debo size, but
yeah, but it's like that is the vision for what
Debo
he'd be.
down to like 215 though.
I think he's slimmed up a little bit, especially with all the injuries he's dealt with. I'm sure that helps out in terms of like not putting as much stress on your joints.
Yeah,
like that's kind of the issue with larger BMI players. But at pick number 10 for the Minnesota Vikings, defensive back, I think we all know is still a priority position to target. I'll be going after, in my opinion, one of the highest floor corners in the draft, just someone who does pretty much well at anything, Denzel Burke. Also somebody who dealt with a sophomore slump, but ended up rebounding and being pretty damn solid by the end of it. For me, I love players who, even when knocked down, they can get back up.
Yeah, that's a really good scheme fit.
Yeah.
I'm going to run the card in here. If I'm Tampa Bay, I'm going to go with James Pierce Jr.
Yeah, smart.
Give me some of that edge rush.
Yeah.
They need some juice. They got Yaya. We'll see for a full season this year. That's nice, but is it Tryon on like his contract year?
His last year as well.
They did bring in the draft was so long ago, 2024. I forgot.
I know
the other Alabama pass rusher, Braswell.
Yeah,
they brought him in, but we'll see.
Yeah,
I think was he a second or was he like a third? I think he was a second because McMillan was the third. But still, I mean, hey, take shots.
Yeah, I mean, edge rusher is super key, and then it's one of the positions they do not have locked down anymore, which is kind of crazy. But at pick 12 for the Seahawks, I think that if you lose DK Metcalf, Tetairoa McMillan fits perfectly. This is another team that I would target round 2 or 3 for a quarterback.
Are they about to lose DK Metcalf?
Well, I mean, I don't know. It just depends. Are they going to pay him? Like, that's a genuine question. It's why there's rumors
have
they
not paid him?
Huh? Have they not paid? Have they paid him? I don't think they paid him yet.
I mean, he's going. So after 2024, he'll have 1 year left on his deal.
Right. Like this is the time to pay him. So I'm saying like for the future, because I do know that at the trade deadline, teams will try to inquire, including my Pittsburgh Steelers, God forbid. But I do think Tetairoa McMillan could be an interesting replacement for the long term, and I think he needs a year to be able to get into that role. But I'll stray away from that idea. I'll stray away from that. I do like, huh?
You're not going to do it?
No.
Okay. Do what you do.
I like the idea of it, but I'm just
live life, Alex.
I'm going to live life. Don't worry about me. But for me, I also do kind of like the idea of Harold Perkins on the squad. I'm going to throw a curveball. I'm going to do it. I'm going to go actually after Marcus Mabeau, right tackle out of Purdue. I think the right tackle spot is like with Fant, it's a nice guy to plug and play for the short term, but Abraham Lucas is pretty much donezo in terms of health. I don't trust him to be there for the long run. The offensive line is super key. Marcus Mabeau has hand-to-hand combat ability, and his hand technique is better than any tackle I've seen. So somebody who I'm going to be sticking my neck out for is one of my guys.
When I watch this Purdue tape, he better be freaking brilliant.
I mean, hey, I posted multiple clips on Twitter about it, so feel free to take a peek at that.
I'm hoping maybe I could get to him next week. We'll see. Now that college football's back,
he's a little light though. That's his issue. He's 305, but the technique is ridiculous, and I think he has some room to add some weight.
All right, so we got good players starting to fall.
Yep.
But like Tetairoa, not really something the Colts necessarily need after paying Pittman, drafting Adonai.
Yep.
You got who else?
No QB. It's also the draft order.
Oh, dude, yeah. Are you kidding, man? My head would be carried on a pike. Yeah. If I take a QB for the Colts.
Oh, that would be funny as hell.
I think I'm gonna swing on an upside guy.
Ooh.
I'm very curious. I can't wait to watch him play tomorrow morning. He's a top 50 player for me. I don't have a first round grade on it. He just needs to get consistent.
Chavon?
No, Mikael Williams, edge out of Georgia.
That's why you're pairing him up with. Ooh, I like the idea of that, pairing him up with Leatu.
I'm excited to see how he plays against Clemson tomorrow, because that's a good Clemson offensive line.
Yeah. Damn. Okay, Steelers fans. I'm here with you. They need a quarterback. They need a receiver. They need a corner. The question is, we could get QB1 in this class. The question is, who should we take? Right? Like, we could wait and get a Milroe, Cam Ward, Connor Wegman, even Quinn Ewers in round 2, just like the other teams. But I've just named like 5 dudes, and they're not going to be going at the end of the round 1. There's not enough teams that need a quarterback at the end of round 1 to actually steal what we'd be needing to get. There's that 5th-year bonus, but we've also seen with guys like Kenny Pickett, who gives a crap about a 5th-year bonus if you're not going to be using that 5th year. So keep that in mind as well. I think the area that we draft the best in past round 1 is wide receiver. That's where I'm going to trust us the most, is drafting wide receiver past round 1, because it's very tempting to go after T-Mac. I do want to mention corners, because we still, if Dante Jackson gets paid, if he stays healthy, that's great. I think it's fair to say that that is not something we can project. Tacario Davis is going to be someone who could be a stud at 6'4". But I don't think that we could sit at 14 and not take a QB. So with all of that being said, I think Carson Beck's a better version of Kenny Pickett. And I don't think we're going to be
music to the ears of Pittsburgh Steelers fans.
This is going to make people go crazy, because I am the #1 Shedeur Sanders hater in history. I think the one coach who I really trust dealing with Deion Sanders in his ear is Mike Tomlin. I'm going to go Shedeur Sanders, because I think a quarterback that just
hold on. I just clicked freaking Carson Beck.
Well, I'm going Shedeur Sanders. You bum. Because you can literally just go through and refresh it. You'll be all right. Because I think that you'll be all right. We're 13 picks in, 14 picks now. All you have to do is hit refresh. It'll be okay. Well, actually, you can hit the number restart, and then it should do that for you. But
right, refreshed. you just keep talking.
Yeah, but
you gave it.
So
Shedeur is the comment section. That's all I'm saying.
Jeepers, man. So at 14, I go Shedeur Sanders for the Steelers, because I think the Steelers don't need a quarterback to make the biggest plays, especially with their legs and such. I don't think that's the vision for what the team really needs. What the team needs is someone to keep them in rhythm, throw with anticipation, and be able to just make sure that they make the right decisions. Shedeur Sanders, as much as people want to label me as a hater of him, is the best processor in the class. And for certain teams that need someone to keep them in rhythm, he is the best quarterback in the class. So I think he might be the best for the Steelers. That's my team.
Keep
that in mind.
I'm happy for you. I'm proud for you, dude.
Okay. Well, do you want me to make sure that you're putting in the right one?
Yes.
Ben Morrison.
You took Benjamin, right?
Yeah, Ben Morrison, then Travis, and then Emery, Jones. Then you got your little Mason Graham.
Yeah, I did.
You did. I was gonna go Mason Graham for the Giants, by the way. I just
the had to one go time I get freaking trigger happy on the mouse, dude.
I know, dude. I'm like, literally, you think I'm gonna draft better Kenny Pickett? Will Campbell.
You talked him up so much, man. I was
how? I just say he's better Kenny Pickett. That sure as hell ain't a reason to draft him.
You had me sold.
Oh my god. I mean, I guess it's up our alley. Denzel Burke, James Pierce. Oh my god. So Shedeur is going 5. Shedeur may go 5, but I don't know. I mean, it's possible. But
if a quarterback goes in the top 10, it's gonna be like your Beck, your Shedeur. It's gonna be one of those guys.
It's gonna be one of those guys.
Unless again, Milroe freaking goes nuts. Yours goes nuts.
Yeah.
Jackson Dart, probably not. But A man can dream.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, this is where you took.
I took Marcus Mabeau, baby.
Yeah, Matthew McConaughey got it.
Then Mikael Williams, then Shedeur. So there's a question as to whether I'd go Isaiah Bond or Travis Hunter at wide receiver. Depends on the role you need. You want a burner who can run some routes, you go Bond. You want somebody that you can pretty much just say YOLO and chuck it up to and has unbelievable contested catch ability, you go Trav. So completely different. Your turn. We're back.
Dude. Yeah, this is I Gojo, thank you. Thank you.
Milrow would be a beast at running back. That's funny. Milrow is supercharged Malik Willis, says Josh. I think that's not out of the question at the moment.
Okay. This one's tough.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna let Tetsuo go down the board any further. I feel like this feels like kind of nutty going wide receiver like 2 times in a row, like within like 2 years. Feels kind of nuts, but like the value's so good with Tetsuo, and it's like you're getting something radically different from what you have in Brian Thomas. I don't believe in Houdini, who they signed this offseason, Gabe Davis.
Yeah.
They have Christian Kirk. He's great in the slot. Now you have these just nutty type of like just body types on the outside.
I respect that. I like that too.
I mean, that's the value, dude. What can I do?
Yeah. Okay, at 16 for the Browns, I really wish I could go QB here. I'm not going to, but it's like financially that don't make no sense. So for me, I want to go after a player that has unreal untapped potential. And I mean, this team is really loaded at a lot of positions. So like deep down, I'm not selecting this, but I want to just give a shout out to Dayon Walker because I think that'd be really fun. Not selecting him, but I do know that Jedrick Wills is probably not going to be back, right? He's dealing with a contract situation. Also, when it comes to the price of tackles, they've gone up. I am going to be going after one of my favorite left tackles in the class. Left tackle?
Dude, you have gone after all of the tackles.
Oh, yeah. Jack Nelson, Wisconsin tackle.
Oh, wow. That's who you're going?
Mm-hmm. I'm a really big fan of Jack Nelson. I think he's going to have a resurgent year. And I was someone who was very biased against Jack Nelson coming into the year. Someone who I almost didn't even include on my deep dive. And watching him just take steps up every single year, like his grades gotten better every time I've watched him. It makes me really confident in his ability to continue that path in the NFL. And he even learns mid-game. So I appreciate the fact that he actually puts in the work. And I think that's a really good trait to have.
Sick. Gojo doesn't know if he wants to leave or go.
Dude, the guy is playing yo-yo.
Dude, he was barking. I was like, all right, I'll let you out. And then I opened the door and he's just standing there, not moving. I'm like, what? He just wants pets, I guess.
That's funny.
I guess so. I got you, Gojo. I'm going Carson Beck for the Rams. Let's get that heir apparent to stinking Matthew Stafford. And hey, they get a guy that's a Georgia player.
Better Stetson
Bennett.
It's literally better Stetson Bennett. Like that is kind of what Carson Beck is.
Like Bennett?
Huh?
Oh, like Beck doesn't like he doesn't
have
that
mobility
of Bennett.
Hey, maybe not a Bennett, but like
that's what I'm saying.
I mean, he's
Bennett.
still mobile. Like let's get that straight.
Not like he's not gonna scare the defense with his mobility. Like, oh, he's extending the play.
Sure. Yeah, no, he's not gonna be like.
I'm not saying he's a statue.
Call him Carson R. Beck for like RB, but like, no one's gonna say that. But I feel like it's still relatively an asset. Regardless, at 18 for the Chargers, there's a lot of really good weapons that are still available that you could try to, pick here. Colston Loveland being one of them. Not selecting him just yet. Pipe down. Keep that trigger finger happy. But I do really like the idea of pairing up a really solid high upside defensive interior with their former defensive coordinator here And I think Kenneth Grant has that
I
physical
love
upside.
that fit.
He's so fun. And I mean, if you could do trade backs, maybe I'd trade back here, but man, like that would overcomplicate everything. Just go Kenneth Grant. Defensive interior has just not been the Chargers' forte. And I really think that Kenneth Grant and Tuli Tuipulotu could be a nasty edge defensive interior combo that's super young for the future.
All right, so the Bears. This is my chalk,
The Bears.
people. I'm gonna go with my best prospect on the board.
Mm.
In Malachi Starks.
I like that.
So they have Kevin Byard on a 2-year deal. Honestly, Starks, that's kind of what Byard does. You know, that's they're very similar in terms of their role.
Yeah.
So if Byard is more like what we saw with Philly, which wasn't like terrible, but it wasn't, you know, what we were accustomed to as a top 10 safety.
Right.
Then you could just cut the rope, be like, all right, we're going elsewhere. They have some solid backup safeties on that roster, but I mean, they're not Starks. They're not Starks.
Yeah. I get that. Well, for the Falcons, I think that corner two's kind of eluded them for the past 3+ years. And looking at Hughes, who's up for a contract as well, like you're relatively thin at past corner one, in my opinion, in that corner room. I do like Clark Phillips, but at the same time, you need, like, there's still a massive need for corners. I'm going to go after Tacario Davis here. I think that his high IQ combined with his great length and size at 6'4" will be a massive asset as a corner two, because you can also, if there are receivers that are a little bit more shifty because it's change of direction, ain't necessarily the best on planet Earth, you can actually balance that out with the fact that you can trust him on maybe a less route running savvy wide receiver one.
Oh, okay. Dolphins. Interesting spot. I'm sticking with the offensive line because good God, we need it. Absolutely. I'm going. This is where I'm going to snag Tyler Booker.
It's a great pick.
Yeah, because he's built. He is, and honestly, might be able to cut it at tackle if things get hairy. Like if maybe Patrick Paul's not ready, or Austin Jackson ends up, just being a contract year guy. So. Yeah, well, I'm gonna go with Booker. I will say, part of me is a little mad. I not mad, but part of me is eating at me that I didn't go with like Deion Walker. But those were the two guys,
right? I mean, so do you think that realistically the Dolphins would go offensive guard in the first? Because
are you kidding? The Dolphins never do what they should.
Right. Okay. So that's what was crossing my mind. If this was more of a you as a fan passion pick, or if you were like valuing like if you're going to fully enforce what you think that your favorite team would do. Because I was like, oh, that's interesting. Because I think that's what they should do. But
yeah, no. This is a team that doubled up on edge last year. I mean, they got 2 slot wide receivers at the back end of the draft. Like, if you go fast, then hey, you're gonna make the Dolphins. Like, all the guys that they drafted, like outside of like the offense, even Patrick Paul, dude's kind of limber, but like, dude, Chop Robinson, Muhammad Kamara, then they grabbed Taj and Malik. So, indeed. I should have. I'm sorry, maybe I should have just looked at the 40 times.
Well, I'm actually going to be, because I think Green Bay has a plethora of depth, and they're actually just really in a solid spot in my mind as a franchise roster wise. Deion Walker can go best player available. I think, especially given upside, this guy could be unstoppable. 6'6". The unfortunate part is that he stands the full 6'6". So lower that pad level, and I think this guy could be special.
All right, I have the New York Jets. This is also a potential like quarterback spot.
Yep.
Depending on what goes down, what transpires with
Aaron
Rodgers, Aaron. But this might be shocking. I don't know. It could be interesting. I think, regardless, I'm going with corner Siobhan Revel. out of East Carolina. DJ Reed is essentially on the last year of his deal because like everything after that are void years.
Yeah.
So if they opt not to bring him back, try to get cheaper. Maybe they keep Aaron for another year. Maybe he sticks around. Maybe he's not washed up because I don't think he is. Like, I know that's something going around just because his last year in Green Bay wasn't ideal. But to be fair, there wasn't a lot offensively ideal about the Packers back in 2022.
Yeah.
And the defense was Joe Barry, who I'm clowning on. He's on the Dolphins coaching staff right now. Ugh. But yeah, I mean, we're not too far removed where he was an MVP.
Yeah.
So he could come out and be like, oh no, I'm going to stick around till I'm like 45, like Tom freaking Brady. God rest his soul.
God rest his soul. Okay, so 24 with the Texans. I think that it's going to be very hard for former linebacker and D'Amico Ryans to resist being able to toy around with Harold Perkins as a hybrid edge rusher and linebacker. I think that he will accept the challenge, and I think that he will actually put Harold Perkins in the best possible situation to succeed.
Harold Perkins?
Okay. Harold Perkins.
I was just considering him too.
For the Cowboys?
Yeah, but I mean, the Cowboys, they've invested, like, they got linebackers.
They do.
It was just like, okay, he's the best player on my board. I might as well take a gander, you know?
Sure.
Oh, man, Cowboys could be in a weird situation next year if Dak's not there.
Yeah.
Dak's not there.
I mean, this is if they end up bringing Dak for like maybe, can you tag him? They can tag him, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be expensive as hell. I don't know how you full
guaranteed. Yeah. Well, I mean, if they end up bringing Dak back maybe on a 1 year, it is the proper draft to be able to develop a quarterback for a minimum of a year. Like, there's a lot of talent.
I'm going to throw it out there. I'm going to do it.
Oh, no.
Dallas Cowboys, pick 25.
Oh, Lord.
I'm going to take Ashton Genty, running back out of Boise State.
If he doesn't fumble, he's RB1 for sure.
I mean, dude, yeah. That honestly, and like you go back, you look at those fumbles, and it's like, it hurts your heart because they're like all second effort plays, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, he's fighting for more yards. But like, he gives me like Alvin Kamara vibes.
I could see that. Yeah.
And there's nothing going on in the backfield currently in Dallas. So,
I mean, Ashton he is the perfect blend of size, power, explosiveness, vision. Like, I really do love him. I do.
Like, this is a good running back class. And if I were to bet on one going in the first round,
yeah,
I feel like he'd be the guy.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, for the Eagles, the two positions I'd target in the first for them, given that Lane kind of expressed the fact he wants to play multiple more years, is tight end and edge rusher. I think that a contingency plan should be in place there for Dallas Goedert. Has he even reached 1,000 yards in a season yet? I don't think he has, but it hasn't been for a while.
For a tight end, that's still pretty.
Right. But like basically Dallas Goedert, he's a very big asset to the team. But the last time when Zach Ertz was 28, you drafted a tight end. When I think Brent Selleck was 28, you drafted Zach Ertz. Right now, we're dealing with Goddard at 29, coming up to be needing to get paid. I'm going to be going after Colston Loveland, tight end out of Michigan. I think that he is a far superior blocker than what people believe. I think this team has just gone firepower. And I think this team will continue to do so with Colston Loveland being a very, very, very top tier tight end.
Okay. I'm okay with that. I'm cool with that.
He's the best tight end in the draft.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. I like Mitchell Evans a lot, but that injury I didn't factor enough into my grading.
Yeah, I mean, and I feel like this tight end class, it's going to be similar to that like Dalton Kincaid year where it's like we'll see one maybe at the back of the first round, and then you're going to see a ton on
explosion. Day 2. Yeah.
For the Bengals, this pass rush just isn't good right now. Outside of like Trey Hendrickson, they lost DJ Reader, their best pass rushing interior player.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a shot on Abdul Carter. He's gonna be playing his first year at edge, and honestly, like if his pass rush win rate translates to what it was last year, just as a blitzer, then yeah, he's gonna be really good. It's just like, okay, can you defend the run better? Can you defeat blocks once you get engaged? Because that was a lot of it with last year with him at linebacker, where it's like, I know you're fast and strong, dude. Like, manhandle these fools. What are you doing?
Right. Yeah. 100%. For the Bills at 28, I do think that their receiving core continues to need infusions of talent. And I think that this player is going to take the biggest step out of the wide receivers that are fringe round one. It's AlexCBarbour, wide receiver out of Stanford. He is dynamic after the catch. He was an improved route runner. What?
You're doing this for Buffalo?
Oh, yeah. I'm screwing you over for the Lions.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So there you go. It seems like we're on the same page. But you're adding extra size as well. This is a dude who toasted Travis Hunter. Granted, yeah, it was pretty much later in the game after Travis was probably gassed. But at the end of the day, you're still being able to toast a corner that we ended up taking in the top 5. So he has the production. He has the physical talent. And I think he just needs to put it together a little bit more. But I really do like his game.
All right. I think I got something. That's fine. I got something.
I know what I would choose for the Lions here.
I'm choosing a Dan Campbell guy. I think this guy is a Dan Campbell guy.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Jack Sawyer.
Oh, you're not on the same page. Same position.
Yeah. We both figured it. No, the minute wide receiver went off the board, I was like, well, I kind of wanted the size, but okay, whatever. Sawyer is a guy that he brings his lunch pail, comes in, clocks in, does his job. The win rate was good last year. I think he can be uninspiring at points in terms of just like, can you defeat these blocks as a run, like as an edge setter? Like he's not going to consistently be like a disruptor, but I think he does a solid enough job just setting the edge, and he gives you reliability. Like that's honestly what they need. They need a guy that just come in and be like, hey, we just need an edge too. I think he could do that.
Right. Yeah. Well, I'm not the biggest Jack Sawyer guy, but like we've had our debates over Jack Sawyer. So I do
knowing you, I probably could have got him at the back end of round 2.
You could have gotten him probably the back end of round 3. I'll put it that way.
I don't know if I'd put him off that far for the Lions.
Well, for you, if you were just going solely off of what I would select, that would be probably that range. For the Baltimore Ravens, I actually want to big brain this move. I'm looking at a team in the Niners that might be looking at a right tackle for the future. And this is not going down the path that you think, because yes, I'm very much aware that your second round pick, Roger Rosengarten, will be your right tackle. But I'm also looking at the Chiefs, who theoretically, potentially, might need a right guard. I'm looking at a player who I think I might want to develop potentially even as a tackle and move him to left tackle in Jaden Roberts. But I know he's going to be a right guard for us, or a left guard if you want. But he is the strongest athlete at Alabama. Everybody knows this guy lifts the weights. And he's just a little bit raw to be able to be considered one of the top 15 guys in the class. But I can guarantee you a team that loves power and loves developmental guys will run to the podium. And I'd be scared shitless if the Niners got their hands on him or the Chiefs. So I'm going to big brain it with the Ravens.
San Francisco 49ers. I want to get Nick Bosa a running mate. They got Leonard Floyd there. That's great. He's fine. He's solid. But I'm looking for the future. And what better spot than to go back to Columbus, to go back to Nick Bosa's alma mater.
Whoa.
And we'll swing on JT Tuimoloau.
Wow. I thought you were lower on JT than I was.
I mean, I got him top 50. I mean, he's inside my top 40. So
interesting. I mean, he's 76 for me, but I'm talking about in terms of the overall rank, or like the edge rankings for you.
I got another guy, but
Okay. I mean, I found that
to
interesting.
be fair, the other guy haven't really seen a lot of him play. At least we have a full
Jalen
year
Walker.
of BT. Oh no,
Jalen's a
Jalen Walker! You
beast.
don't even know if he's an edge or an off-ball linebacker.
I know he is so.
I'm not
fun,
touching him until day 2.
He is so fun. Regardless, for the Chiefs, I think this one to me is relatively straightforward. This is a player who I think should be probably almost starting right out the gate, and doesn't get enough love, but I'm glad he's starting to get it. It's Tyleik Williams, defensive interior at the Ohio State University. Super flexible. He can even play some edge reps because he is athletic enough, but you don't need him for that. But the bottom line is he's a consistent worker. I think Ohio State actually has not used him or Michael Hall for that matter to the best of their capabilities. And when I see somebody with untapped potential who still is able to produce, that gets me excited. So I think that Chris Jones will be able to max out that potential.
Nice. I think at this point, for the Bears, I mean, I feel like I'm just gonna focus defense.
Yep.
I'm gonna.
We'll see.
I'm trying to figure out: do I go with an unproven freak of nature, or a proven, not as athletic but definitely very creative?
Are you talking about Princely and Patrick?
No,
top two.
Princely and was it Dennis Sutton?
You really like Dennis Sutton that much?
I do. Better than Patrick. I can almost guarantee it'll probably be better than Patrick.
Yeah, that's not hard to do at the moment. Right now, Patrick does not look like an NFL player.
I'm just saying, hey, Dennis, all he has to do is win one pass rush rep, and he will be.
He's 270 too. He's
a meaty dude.
He's a big dude.
So I'm gonna let you pick. Do I go upside or do I go with the crafty vet?
If I were picking for the Bears, I'd go Princely in a heartbeat.
All right, I'm going Princely Umangalang. Pretty sure that's how you say it because that's the pronunciation I have on here. So
you say that every time. I'm like, I cannot. We'll just go Princely. We'll just do it.
Umamilan.
Umamilan. Yes.
Umangalang. Umami. Umami. I just got a pass rusher for the Bears.
Oh, that's funny as well. Okay, so 34 for the Titans. We ended up addressing edge in round number 1 with Nick Scourton, who I have as my number 4 player. Love him to death. Now, looking at the options for offensive line, it did get a little thin, didn't it? That's thanks to me, though. I'm the one who screwed that up.
It got very thin.
It got very thin very fast. Jonas Savania, don't select him yet, is certainly a name that I would like to toss in here because
he was a name I was considering for the Bears to play guard.
Ooh, yeah, not a bad idea. Not a bad idea at all.
He played right guard for Arizona.
Yeah. I mean, that's not a bad idea, but God, this class is not that good for tackle. I just can't see it. I can't see it.
Well, when you take 5 off like in the first round, then yeah.
Hey, I mean, last year there was like 5 taken in the first, and we still got some good ones.
Dude, bro, I selected all of 1 tackle in the first round.
It's all me. I owned up to that. I was like, yeah, that's my fault. That's on me. But you know what? Honestly, looking at this team, I feel like Isaiah Bond can continue to give Will Levis opportunities to chuck it downfield. You can come back with the argument like if the offensive line is that bad, he won't have time to. But Isaiah Bond's also a nifty route runner. So he's not at Alabama. He's at Texas. But I'm going to go Bond because I also want to kick him into the slot and see what happens. That speed. 4.2 speed.
All right. So I took
Banks.
That's right. I thought I took Will Campbell for a second, but nope, that was the Panthers.
No, you let me do that. You saved me.
Yeah. So I think I want to go corner here. Yeah, because Jonathan Jones is a free agent after next season. So I'm gonna go with the Virginia Tech corner Mansour Delane.
Okay.
Yep.
Our opinions
Mansour.
differ so much in the corner group.
Oh
Like
yeah.
that last stream of ours was very entertaining because it's like, oh really?
This
I
guy,
did not
this
do that.
guy. What? This guy. Yeah, I mean, hey, dude. That's the beauty of all this.
It is. But it also shows me why maybe I shouldn't have taken a corner for the Broncos there in the first. Should have taken a tackle. So I could have screwed myself later. But
Do I screw myself now or later?
yeah, I'm like, you know what? I actually really like the idea of Emeka Egbuka on the squad. I think the value is pretty damn
Dude,
ripe
are you
for
gonna
it.
disrespect my boy Marvin Mims like that?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I really do like Emeka
I
Egbuka.
suppose I am.
Yeah, I mean, I think that a larger built receiver on a not cheaper contract, but on that's young with talent on a relatively cheaper contract is going to be very valuable. And, you could pretty much it would be kind of cute to go after Tez, but I'm going to go with Emeka because I think there's still some of that 2022 Emeka in him that would be worth a top 15 pick. And I think at 36 it's worth taking the shot.
Okay. Raiders, this is probably where I'm going to take the quarterback. Question is, who do I want Luke? Who has the best chance to survive in Luke Getsy's offense? And that person absolutely isn't Jalen Milroe.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Please don't do that.
So it's like,
please don't take the guy I want.
I probably won't.
You might.
Because I assume you probably want Wegman. Because I can't imagine who else it would be. Unless you have like this like love for Cameron Ward.
He is awesome.
Huh?
He is awesome. I do really like Cam Ward. However, you are wrong about my love.
I think this is probably where I'm gonna roll the dice then and take the shot on Quinn Ewers.
Okay. Yeah.
Just suspecting quarterback's not going to be there in the next round for him. Quinn Ewers, he's got the first round talent. Yeah, that's not really the question.
It's the consistency.
Yeah, I love my boy Jackson Dart, but in terms of just arm talent, Ewers has it. I'm not knocking Dart, but it's really just kind of
Ewers has an arm. He is very talented. He has an arm. Yeah, he has an arm. Okay, so for me at 38, you were 100% right. I'm going to go Connor Wegman. I do think that if healthy, he is the best quarterback in the class. And the only reason he is not currently the best quarterback in the class is because he didn't have enough games to develop and polish some of the insecurities he had in the red zone that I think in time will be ironed out.
Yeah, you're not going to think that after Notre Dame drags him.
Hey, I will say, I do think that that Riley Leonard will be better than Connor Wegman early on.
Forget Riley Leonard.
Oh, no. Riley Leonard is really good.
I
like Riley Leonard.
He's all right.
I like Riley Leonard.
I like him. I early day three like him.
Ooh. Okay.
All right. So
I think you're going to be mistaken this year.
It could be. I don't know. He'd have to stay healthy to prove me wrong. So,
amen to that, dude.
All right. So, and let's not pretend like Notre Dame they just lost 2 tackles of the NFL and another to injury.
Yeah.
Arizona. All right.
There's some good guys on the board.
There are good guys on the board, but it's a tough selection nonetheless, just because it's not really
dude.
It's not.
I'm hoping you don't go after the one guy I really want.
I probably won't, considering just how we've been talking about this. I
haven't mentioned this guy yet.
Feel okay. Let me just concur what they currently have on the roster. Part of me wants to go edge. We have dipped into this edge class
a lot,
freaking ton.
Yeah.
Dude, their linebacker core's trash. What have I just walked into?
Dude, Kaiser, isn't he like a team captain too?
Kaiser is fine. It's everything else that's just like rubbish.
I mean,
absolute rubbish.
That's a former Eagles DC for you, though.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with my boy Danny Stutzman.
Ooh, I could totally see him being an Arizona Cardinal,
dude. Right?
I don't know why.
Freaking like gangster, dude.
Yeah, he seems like a good guy too. You saw like that thing for all the walk-ons. He ended up giving them like $5,000 worth of goodies.
Oh my gosh, dude! The NIL money must be freaking
flowing.
Beautiful, flowing like wine. I don't even know if that's a saying.
Dude, I think that he's in a good spot. Well, speaking of being in a good spot, Washington right here, there's a lot of good options. I think you still have some quality edge rushers here that you did not mention, but I'm not going to mention because I don't want you to take them.
Yeah, we're at that point.
Yeah, we're at that point where I'm gatekeeping. But I also think a boundary corner is pretty key. And I'm a big fan of Davison Igbinison, boundary corner out of The Ohio State University. So he's the guy who I'll take. However, I am starting to come around to Quincy Riley. And I love his IQ. And I thought his play speed wasn't as good as what the stats say. But when you look at
what his track numbers say,
when you look at his track numbers, it is ridiculous. So I'm actually going to go Quincy Riley. You know what? Screw it.
Okay.
I think realistically he goes before. Yeah, I was looking at what you click. I was like, if you click Igbinison, I'll stick.
I was just typing it in. I was just I'm waiting at this point. Never again am I gonna get trigger happy.
Yeah, Quincy Riley's gonna be my guy for y'all. I think that he's a big hitter. I think that combined with Mikey Sainristil, you're getting dudes who can lay the wood, but also Quincy is great with his ball skills. So big fan.
All right. We're going Riley. Shoot, man.
My boy Jordan. He's like, I want the Falcons to get a Mecca. I'm like, too bad.
All right. I am going tackle here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Ariante.
Yeah. Dude.
Ursi. I didn't look at how he did last night, so
I didn't either. I'll look that up for you.
While
you're doing that.
I'm hoping he had a solid game. I'll get to that game maybe. I mean, there's a lot of college football happening this weekend. I don't know if I'll be able to.
Let me see. He allowed one pressure that was a hurry on 30 pass blocks.
Nice.
So he seemed fine. Nothing crazy. And that's versus North Carolina. I do think Ursery is best at run blocking. And I think you'd agree with that.
Which that's perfect with
Tully.
Dude, and Kubiak?
Oh, yeah.
Coming in here to instill the Niner offense.
Right. Horson did ask what the Giants went in the first round. We went after Emory Jones, tackle out of LSU.
You say we, dude. Don't tie me to you.
I say we as in the Giants. I'm including myself. But Ursery and Fuaga, talk about an unbelievable run blocking athletic duo. Like, that's a ridiculous run blocking athletic duo. I just love it. So 42 for the Bills. It's weird for the Bills to be sitting right here, but is this the Texans pick from the Browns? Am I right? Or am I tripping? No, I'm tripping.
Yeah.
This is a Vikings pick. My bad. I was remembering the trade. Yeah, right. It's that Vikings second round pick.
Yeah. That got moved like 3 times last offseason.
Yeah. Regardless, Bills are sitting here. Our first round pick was Alec Iomaner. Got it right. Big fan of that. You're the one who taught me that one too, which, I mean, that doesn't make me very confident if I got it right. But I'm going to go edge rusher here because I am a very big fan of, how did Kamen Rucker do? Am I tripping?
Last night?
Yeah.
You're asking the wrong person that just said he didn't see the game.
I know. Well, okay. Screw you, buddy. I'm like literally typing it right next. So Kamen Rucker last night ended up getting 3 pressures. So, to me, that's fine. 22 pass rushes, 3 pressures. Like, to me, that's a solid ratio to where I still feel comfortable with, like, he didn't have that step back. And I think this team needs an infusion of youth in the edge core. So I'm going to go Cayman Rucker out of UNC.
All right. I'm going to make this quick. I'm just going to go with my board. The guy fell, and it's just really good value.
Yeah.
Though I feel like this is a team that has a lot of guys maybe that I feels like that, like the slot safety position's kind of stacked for the Bucks.
Ooh.
But I'm going to go with Kevin Winston Jr.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, he was still pretty high on my board, and I'm like,
You're that high on Kevin. Okay.
I mean, now you have probably one of the best safety duos in football right off the bat.
Yeah. Power to you, dude. 44 for the Seahawks. I actually, damn. What do you think about Xavier Nwankpa on this team as like a dime backer?
Dude, I think Mike McDonald's like the safety, like he doesn't have his safety yet. I'll say that.
I know. Right now I'm debating stylistically, not necessarily. Like, I think Xavier Nwankpa, or what the hell is this guy on here? Damn, showing some disrespect to my boy Nick Amonwori. I don't even know if they even have him listed as a safety in this.
He might be a linebacker. Just type his name in.
I know. I should select all for defense and then EMM. They don't even have him. Look at that. That's funny.
Ain't no way.
They don't even have Nick Amonwori in here. So that's crazy.
You talk and
maybe it goes under a different last name or something now, but Nick Amonwori is 6'3", 227.
That's wild.
He'll probably run in the 4.3 range, and he's not afraid of contact. You're not going to beat him deep, and he has the size to enforce you. I think that is going to be the Seahawks. So I'm sorry to go after the one player apparently they don't have, but Nick Amonwori is going to be my guy. So who do we want to put Yam Banks? That name is so sick, and I know that. I don't think.
He's firmly a day 3 guy.
Yeah, I don't think any of us are drafting Yam.
But I do love the Yam. I don't even know if he ends up starting for Ole Miss just because.
Yeah. So Yam Banks is going to be the placeholder. It's Nick Amonwori, my number 1 safety in the class.
All right, I'm going to make this quick.
Fucking Yam.
Colts.
I love it.
Yo, no, there ain't no way.
I
was going to go Oscar Delp.
Yeah, he's available. Does this place not have Delp either?
I don't have it. I don't see Delp on here. Nope, there's no Delp.
What in tar nations is PFN doing? We chose this thing because they.
You know who would have Oscar Delp?
You could have done mock draft database. You could have done that. That's up to
you. Okay, so apparently Delp, he went back to school. That's fine. I'll work with it. We go with my other tight end, Tyler Warren.
I think Tyler Warren could have a big year.
Dude, I did not expect. He already did, dude. He had like 7 touchdowns last year.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't expect to like Warren as much as I did when I went to the tape. Like, he's very athletic. Like, the top speed might be like whatever, but like it's good for a tight end. It's still good. Yeah. Like, very good athlete. You can move him all over the offensive alignment. It's just they need a tight end. Poor Jelani Woods is apparently now out for another year, so potentially.
I'm about to piss myself off. Well, for the Steelers at 46,
you're gonna double up at quarterback.
Yes. No.
Double dip.
I'm debating between Ollie Gordon and Quinshon Judkins. I think that value is too good.
The value is very good.
The value is freaking ridiculous. The question is, which one do I like more with Arthur and with our offensive line? And I will say Quinshon would bring back some Le'Veon Bell. The patience, the vision. Ollie is that home run hitter. And I think Jalen Warren will be sticking around a bit longer. So I'm going to go after Quinshon Judkins out of the Ohio State University. I feel like just Arthur's going to want it. You need a weapon. You need a weapon, man. And I don't see the receiving talent right now being worth it.
I'm in a tough spot right now. Because I really wanted to get a corner for the Jags, and that corner is just not on the board.
He's just a guy.
I literally see a bunch of zone guys. It is literally nothing but zone guys.
Maxwell Hairston, you think he's a zone guy?
I do. I think he's a zone guy.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. It might just be that Kentucky offense. Or did I say offense? Defense?
Yeah, defense.
Just gives me cover 3 feel.
Okay.
I'm actually going to go with someone who's playing corner this year. I'm going to go with Shedeur Barron.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, he's playing outside corner this year.
Is he on here?
Yeah, he's on here.
He is? Oh, okay. I looked at after you selected him. I didn't see him on the list. I'm like, Barron.
But he's playing outside this year, and he is the type of guy that's like, I'm very curious about his long speed.
Right.
But I feel like it's probably better than I think. My question is just what will it be with him having to like turn with and run, rather than just coming downhill?
You know, you don't have to worry about long speed. Ollie Gordon. And you might as well go band for band, M for M with the Steelers, and go after the running back that maybe they should have went after in the first place.
Is that what you're doing?
Oh, yeah.
Ollie Gordon for the Browns.
Huh?
For the Browns?
Yeah. Why wouldn't
I'm just making sure.
Yeah.
You did not say the Cleveland Browns. You did not say Cleveland. You did not say Browns. Not one time. So pardon me for just wanting to be sure.
The Cleveland Browns select Ollie Gordon the 4th out of the Oklahoma State University at the 48th pick of the draft.
All right. I'm sticking with defense. I'm going to take Danny Dennis Sutton. I'm going to go with the upside there for the Carolina Panthers.
Going back to Florida State after another developmental big edge rusher. Did I say Florida State? Penn State.
You did.
I did. Penn State. Going back to Penn State for another developmental guy. I love it.
I mean, hey, the second round's where to get him. Isn't that where they took?
That's where they took Yetur.
What's his name? Yeah, Yetur. Ross
Matos. Okay, Chargers. I really want to get you some firepower here, and we're assuming that Delp has gone back to school based on Yam Banks no longer being able to fill in, because that's our only placeholder is Yam Banks. I'm a little bit scared about this player's weight. However, his talent is unbelievable. And I think interior offensive line at center might not be a bad position to go. What do you think about Parker Brailsford here?
For the
LA
Chargers?
Mm-hmm.
Who's playing center for him right now?
Top of my head. Man, I just did a video on it too.
Oh, it's Bozeman. He's fine. Yeah.
I think Bradley's on like a 1-year deal though, is he not?
Probably.
Yeah. So they're going to be in need of some center help. For me, I'm going to go after Brailsford here. Super athletic, does kind of remind me of a better version of Drake Nugent. And Drake Nugent was light as well. So I think Harbaugh is going to be comfortable with that.
All right. Well, with the Bears, I'm going to keep like-minded with you. I'm going to go with the offensive interior. I'm going to take Jonah Savanea and play him at guard, because you've had, whether it's injury concerns or with Jenkins, Nate Davis just hasn't been quite what he was at Tennessee. We'll see if that changes this year. Yeah. Regardless, I mean, hey, it's a pick, and I like it. Honestly, I almost took him with the first second round pick the Bears had.
Yeah, I don't mind it. Okay, so Falcons. I think we could actually juice up the receiving core a little bit. Unfortunately, Moore got that injury to his leg. I still think there is certainly some targets to be soaked up here. And the question is, do I want to go after someone who has some more physicality and kind of create, for a lack of a better term, the Twin Towers, so to speak, there in Atlanta, and just get Jaden Higgins, who's 6'4", physical, can generate separation with physicality as well as his route running ability, with very reliable hands? Or do I want to get someone who's a little bit more flashy, like Jalen Royals, who is a catch machine? Talk about jump catch.
Dude.
Over 60% contested catch. Ridiculous. Or do I want to get, after the catch ability with Torrey Horton here? There's a nice balance between all these players. And I do like them a lot. What would you take at this spot? Like, what would you be interested in?
For Atlanta?
Mm-hmm.
What did you take in the first?
I took a corner.
Oh, man. I would love an edge player, but
yeah, it's a little light.
Yeah, that's kind of what the world is right now.
Mm-hmm. Could look at safety, though, theoretically.
I mean,
I assume that they aren't going to bring back.
They have Simmons and Bates, and even if Simmons is just the 1 year, like they got Helms, who was going to be the starter.
Yeah, he's on PUP though.
Yeah, but he played well last year.
Yeah,
I mean, honestly, because I wasn't that invested in him, so like any good play surprised me.
You know what? I think it's too far for Xavier Nwankpa to fall. And I think that there's going to be something that's a little bit more heart eyes in terms of the head coach, Raheem Morris, at being able to get maybe not the most athletic safety, but probably one of the highest IQ, and especially near the line of scrimmage, when you use this guy as a backer, this guy is one of the best that I have seen at the position.
Yeah, that's actually what I was about to do
for
the Dolphins. I was about to take
yeah,
Boba Fett.
He's such a beast.
Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna stick with my because I do think the safety class is actually really good on day 2.
Yeah, it is.
I'm gonna go with Billy Bowman.
Mm-hmm.
If he learns how to tackle, watch out.
Yeah, I know that you're a big fan of Billy. Where is Billy?
I found him somewhere.
There he is, number 104. Okay, Packers end up taking a D tackle there in the first with a Dayon, the Beast Walker himself. Now, some people might want to go after another offensive tackle, which, I think there's only hybrids available, which, to be fair, hybrid tackle guards seem to be y'all's thing. You guys like those guys.
Well, it's the rave nowadays.
I know. I honestly think in just developing someone who might be a little bit more physical, but someone who could also deal with the elements, I'm going to go Davison Igbenison here. I have him as a top 15 player in the class. And, that alone should speak to the reason why I'm taking him. But I also think that he has a perfect blend of speed, physicality, but almost to a detriment. But at the same time, the DC from Boston College loves his physicality. And I think that might fit perfectly.
All right, for the New York Jets, I'm taking a quarterback. Didn't do it in the first. I'm taking one now.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna take a page from the Bills' book. I'm gonna look for that big bodied, big rocket of an arm athlete.
Oh my.
I'm going with Aller.
Oh my goodness. Drew definitely could take some lessons from Aaron Rodgers. I'll say that.
Dang, dude. My mind's blown that Milrose's still on the board. And
I know.
Aller.
I know. I'm like, what the hell? What in tarnations? For the Texans, I think a corner 2 is still something that they're trying to look for long term. And I'm a big fan of both Jabbar Muhammad as well as Ephesians Prysock. Completely different styles of player, I must admit. Man. Deep down, I want to take a little bit of a detour from the guys who I think are at the top, but I'm going to go Ephesians Prysock. A little bit athletically limited, but, ridiculous size again at 6'4", near 200, and very, very, very smart and very fluid as an athlete as well. Just capped a little bit.
All right. So you know how I said my mind was blown that Milroe was still on the board?
Take his ass.
He's gone. Taking Jalen Milroe to the Dallas Cowboys. Again, don't know if Dak will be there next year, even if he is.
Yeah.
Trey Lance ain't the guy,
Yeah.
I assume.
Yeah. I mean, I saw Trey in person, and that was a shit show. I was like, oof, goddamn. But for the Eagles, I talked about two positions they need to address: tight end as well as edge rusher. And I did see my boy Sengi talk about the fact that, hey, when you have two really high-end wide receivers that are primarily the focus as well as an 1,000-yard rusher, it isn't easy for a tight end to squeeze out 1,000. That's a very good point. At the same time, that's why we still think Dallas Goedert is still good. It's just, one can still hope for 1,000 yards, and that's okay. But I also think that, time is coming due in terms of what the Eagles normally go after. But at this spot, I do have a secret weapon that I don't think you would have taken probably even until day 3, but someone who I still really, really like. And he pairs up right now with the guy who I took at number 2 overall. It's Shemar Turner, edge rusher out of Texas A&M. He's explosive. He's very similarly to Patrick Payton, used a lot of flash, but not exactly toe to turf, making something happen. But I do think that with the departure of Josh Sweat, probably BG as well, you need someone with size, and Shemar Turner can bring it.
Sick.
I like Shemar Turner. He's my number 34 player in the class.
He's nice. He's nice.
Oh, dude, there's some players that I haven't even seen on this PFN draft board. And I'm just like, oh, I kind of forgot they existed.
Yeah. Bengals, I'm looking for my Volson replacement, so I'm going to go with Tate Ratledge. Guy that's just done really well in college. I imagine that's going to translate. He's got the power. He's got good movement skills.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
Yeah. You cannot, knock on wood, you cannot miss with Tate Ratledge. You know exactly what you're getting, which I think is a good
Fingers crossed. That's what I was going for.
Knock on wood, baby. Knock on wood. For the Bills, oh, damn. Deep down, I wish that we still had someone like a Quinshon Judkins here, because I do kind of like that lightning to the thunder approach. And for the value, I don't see someone who necessarily gets me excited for that, which is a bit annoying. This is probably a spot where I would trade. I just don't really see the proper value here in any of the positions. Do you have any guys that you think are worth taking a swing on at this point?
I feel like the linebacker class is kind of falling a little bit.
I was looking at Barrett Carter and Deontay Lawson. I will say that.
Yes. That would be my first.
Yeah, I like that. I'm going to stick to it, but feel free to say what else you would go after. I'm still going to go after Barrett Carter here. I think the value is just too good to pass on him. He plays much larger than 225.
It's fine.
Yeah,
I like it. Detroit Lions. I gotta get my wide receiver.
Yeah,
I couldn't get in the first round. I'm gonna go with Jalen Royals.
He's so fun.
I hope he probably won't be a name many people talk about until the All-Star circuit.
Yeah,
where he's actually against good competition.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll see you then, buddy.
Dude, deep down, I just want to go after Donovan Jackson here and just say screw it. You got Roberts and Jackson best.
Yeah, I was trying to talk myself into Donovan Jackson.
I thought that's where you were going. I was like, okay, that's mentally where I was at.
But it was I really wanted a wide receiver, really bad for the Lions.
Yeah. For the Ravens, I still think that they're looking for their big X weapon, and I'm gonna give it to him. I'm gonna give him Jaden Higgins out of Iowa State, 6'4", 215. Lamar does like being extremely pinpoint to his larger targets that he can be less pinpoint to. And the fact is, Jaden Higgins is 6'4", 215. Will probably run a 4.49, maybe 4.51. He's adequate athletically, and he is extremely strong and very fluid. Someone who I have a ton of faith in as my number 3 player in the class. I just don't think he's going to be taken very high. So there you go. I know that you're not a big fan of Jaden Higgins, but You know my type of receiver. I'm a sucker
Yeah.
for bigger receivers.
Yeah. We all remember Xavier Hutchinson.
Yep. Hey, he's not bad. He's doing a good job.
He's not bad. Good wide receiver, 4 or 5.
Hey, you know what? He didn't grade out that highly though. That was a year where I was not. That was not a great year, if I'm not mistaken, right?
I can't remember, dude.
I can't
That
remember
was-
who was coming out that year, man.
Once
that
the
was
draft
not a
is
good
done, it's dead to me.
year.
All right, I got
Who did
the,
Arizona take, by the way? We just got
Niners.
a question.
What?
Who did Arizona take? We got Stutzman as well as Mason Graham. We just got a question in the chat.
All right, I'm gonna take the tackle of the future here for the 49ers. I'm gonna go with
Connor.
a man who might end up being Kem Ikwonu, Anthony Belton.
Oh.
By the way, North Carolina or NC State semi-tested against Western Carolina last night. What the
That's
hell?
nuts. That's nuts. I mean, at number 64 for the Chiefs, I honestly am starting to feel comfortable with the idea of going after an offensive lineman here. What do you think the odds are that Trey Smith's back after paying?
Yeah, that was the thing. After paying Humphrey, I don't feel good about it. I feel good about them getting a nice compensatory pick for him, but
right. I think they're going to get that third round compensatory. That's the highest they can go, right? You can't get a second.
I think the highest you can go is third round.
Yeah. I'm going to go Donovan Jackson here. The value is just impeccable. He's a top 10 player on my board. So I'm rocking it in a heartbeat.
Hey, you rock it, buddy.
Dude, I've gone like line for a couple of teams, like exclusively for the first 2 rounds. I'm a fan.
All right. I'm back here with the Carolina Panthers. We got Will Campbell. We snagged Danny Dennis Sutton.
Mm-hmm.
Dinner just came in, so now I'm feeling great.
Dude, that's not allowed on YouTube streams. We'll get it taken down for doing that.
Can I get a little?
Oh my god.
Nonetheless, what do I do here? Part of me
Freaking
kind of wants to dip into the safety class.
Right.
Just because Jordan Fuller's on a 1 year, though I think he'll probably outplay that and end up maybe coming back to the squad on a not a big lucrative, but a more lucrative deal than what he currently has.
Okay.
Austin Corbett's going to be interested at center, but center class, I'm just kind of like, let's just push this sucker back. What are we doing here? Part of me just wants to maybe just take the best player on the board, which would involve me double dipping, but I'm kind of okay with that. Or I can go with thank you so much. I appreciate you and I love you. I think I'm going to get a big monster in the middle to go next to their other big monster in the middle and Derek Brown, actually. I'm going Alfred Collins out of Texas. I think if he doesn't break out this year, then I don't know what's up, because every year it's like we're talking about defensive interior players like from Texas.
Yeah. I mean, Alfred Collins is the next guy up. I like him. Okay. We're back. Friggin' Chiefs. What's up, guys? Man, I mean,
we're back with the Chiefs.
We're back. So I'm actually going to go after Mitchell Evans here. I don't really have faith that Wiley is going. It's not Luke Wiley, right? Is it? What the hell?
No, Jared Wiley.
Jared Wiley.
They also just brought in Hendershot. Not that matters any that much, but I'm just saying.
I mean, I like Hendershot, to be fair, but I will be going Mitchell Evans. He's about that 260 frame. When healthy, I do think that maybe even though athletically a little bit limited, he still brings all the talent in the world. So he's somebody who is right behind my tight end 1 in Colston Loveland, and he's just a completely different style of dude.
Okay, that's fun. I'm down to clown. Man,
I wanted to go Harold Fannin, but it's like at 230. I'm like, ugh.
All right. I actually know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go for the New England Patriots. We took Mansoor, we took Banks. Let's get some edge help. I believe they just recently traded away uh, Matthew Judon. That's right.
Did they
Some guy,
really?
some guy.
Yeah, some like who even knows who that guy is?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Ashton. Was it Jalote?
You know that I'm not the right guy to ask. I watched
Gillette?
all 22. Gillette
Gillette
sounds
to
sick.
Gillette Stadium?
Oh, that's sick. Yeah, I like that. Gillette and Gillette Stadium.
Sounds
Even
like
though
a
I don't think his
commercial to
name's
me.
Gillette. It might be Gillette. Gillette. I don't know. So, Broncos. So far, we have addressed wide receiver as well as corner. I actually feel very comfortable at this moment with the options available, looking at offensive tackle, actually, because there are some players on here that I do like quite a bit. And I want to look at that left tackle spot. This is a guy who I have faith in developing more, but he's a former 5-star. He needs to add weight. It's Josh Connerly. He's 6'4",
Okay, yeah.
but he needs to add weight. He's a former 5-star super athlete. I think he used to play running back even. And that's just worth taking the shot on at pick 68.
Yeah,
And
if
Oregon.
anything, I mean, just kick him to guard.
I know, and Oregon. I mean, so he played already with Bo.
Yeah.
So that too. Cool.
All right. We got the Raiders. I took Hunter. I took Ewers.
Yep.
I feel pretty happy with that at this juncture. Like Walter Nolan's the guy I'm thinking of if I'm just looking at my board.
You were interested in going D tackle anyways over your better instinct earlier as well.
I was. But now there's something in me. There's something inside me that's screaming.
Yeah, but you think you're
Wailing
going to do
even.
that right after? Excuse me, they paid? I mean, they have other issues still too, right?
I don't know. Well, like part of me, I wouldn't mind taking a shot at linebacker, but it's like their room's fine. It's a good room. I'm not mad at it, you know?
Right.
There ain't no way that they're actually gonna start Cody Whitehair over Jackson Powers Johnson.
They're not going to. That's a load of BS. And you know it. You know it.
Not happy.
What do you think about right tackle here, though? With someone like a Johnny Cornelius or Blake?
No,
Miller?
I honestly don't want to touch the tackle class.
Oh, really?
At this juncture.
You don't like Blake Miller?
I like him 4th round, maybe back end of the 3rd.
Okay. Wow.
Talk to me after tomorrow.
Who are they playing tomorrow?
I'm trying Georgia.
Georgia. Oh,
talk to me after tomorrow.
That's going to be such a good game. Oh, I'm excited for that. That's going to be such a good game.
Yeah. Some people might be. I mean, okay, this, to be fair, I'm making this pick based on just a limited sample size of the current incumbent, the current starter for the Raiders. I'm gonna go with Omarion Hampton at running back. I mean, to be fair, it's not like the Raiders got much after Zamir White, but Zamir White we really only saw for a 4-game, or I think it was like a 4-game spread.
Yeah.
So again, this pick's based more on we just haven't seen a ton of White as like the guy. Yeah, Zeus. I loved where he went in the draft because I was like, I don't like him as a dude too.
Yeah.
Ends up going, I think, 4th round?
I thought it was fine.
And that might be 5, but honestly, it was like not a bad pickup. And even if he plays really well, it's like, get that 2-headed running back just going. Ooh.
Yeah.
2-headed backfield. Oh.
Well, I was kind of playing a little game on you because I was just praying Walter Nolan would fall to 70. If I didn't go Mason Graham earlier, let's go after pretty much value brand Mason Graham here with Walter Nolan, who some people think could even be a 1st-round pick. Extremely explosive, a little undersized, but kind of that perfect pairing to Sexy Dexy.
All right, Arizona Cardinals. I'm gonna just go back, take a gander. Stutzman. Graham. Offensive interior comes to mind, but I just don't think it's there right now in the draft. Yeah, it's not.
Mhm.
It's not like it was last year's class,
Right.
Gojo's beating at my door. Don't worry, buddy. I'm coming. Just give me a sack.
Give you a sack.
Give me a sack. Is this where I just take a shot on Patrick Payton?
No. Dude, the guy couldn't win a rep.
It was 12. And I mean, to be fair, they weren't even like.
Hey, if you want to
There,
get
there was
on
probably
somebody,
like
go.
6 pass rush snaps that we were like, oh, okay, let's say those were like, okay, now we're really getting something from it.
If you, what I'm gonna say is, if you're gonna try to take a shot on somebody who might not even be an NFL class edge rusher, go Jalen Walker.
I won't go that far, but you know what? Cardinals like freaks. I'm gonna go with freak. I'm gonna go with Landon Jackson.
Ooh, I mean, they did just get rid of Cam Thomas, who had a similar size.
Yeah, and I mean Landon like Jackson. I don't know how he did last night. I imagine he mollywopped. I think they won like 70-0.
Right.
I'm hoping he had a good game because really he just has that Alabama game. You talking to Gojo? He doesn't know if he wants to go in or out.
Oh,
he doesn't know where he wants to be.
Well, I'm so glad they have him on here. So for the Commanders, I'm debating between 3 different guys. I'm debating between Deion Burks to basically, be this regime's version of Jahan Dotson, which they also did get a 3rd-round pick for. So hopefully that is factored in here, and it is. But I'm also looking at Ricky White, who I freaking adore at this spot, who can work in the slot as well because he's a little skinny. Even though he weighs like 190, he sure as hell plays at 170. And then also I am looking at a potential running back here. And I think I'm going to go Ricky White.
Okay. That's fine. I like it.
Yeah, I like Ricky.
He was in that area for me.
I mean, Ricky to me is I think he's a top 50 player on my board.
Okay.
So,
yeah, he's 38. 73 for me, so.
Yeah, he's 38.
That's fine. I'm gonna do it. Oh no, am I? Maybe they like Spencer Rattler. I'm gonna hold out on it.
Oh, you don't think it's worth bringing in some competition?
I was thinking about bringing some competition and decided against it. They haven't gotten the heir apparent to Demario Davis, and honestly, they might not ever have to, because I don't know how this man's career is like most players like flipped on its head,
right?
Where he's just gotten better and better,
yeah,
and better.
Yeah.
So I think I will go linebacker. He's currently my top player on the board.
Okay.
Lander Barton out of Utah.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah, I just got to him.
He's not even on here.
I'm gonna go with my next linebacker. Dude.
They're not gonna have him.
No, he's not a fit.
Who are you looking at?
Nicholas Martin. Like Nicholas Martin, I finally got to Oklahoma State. Fun as hell.
Yeah, they're fun there. Colin Oliver.
Yeah.
I haven't deep dived
Oliver, that guy's probably an edge. Like,
yeah, that's I literally like, him.
I think he could do it both ways, just not at a full-time capacity.
Right.
This is where I'm gonna swing on upside. Instead of going with Lawson, I'm gonna go with Barham, Jayshawn Barham.
Okay.
Also, fun fact, he was under the tutelage in 2023 of Navarro Bowman. So,
okay,
over there
that's nice. Okay, so for the Jags, you already went after their boundary defensive back. Are you secure on Jedi being the boundary?
I'm not necessarily, just because in their slot they have Savage, so it's like,
Right.
who knows how that's gonna play out.
So, like, did you take that basically with him potentially not being a boundary?
I took that feeling like he was probably the best fit among the corners there.
So,
at
is he
that
going to be a
juncture.
boundary?
You're gonna try him at boundary first, yes.
Okay. That will discourage me from going after another corner, which I really wanted to do. However, looking at the offensive linemen available, I actually do think there's someone with a lot of potential here. I think that he's just like 10 to 20% away from being really effective. And he has all the technical makings of a really solid tackle. And that's Josh Simmons out of Ohio State. I really do like the physical profile he brings, the technique he brings. I just don't think it's fully meshed yet. And that might happen this year.
Man, I'm a sucker for guys that they move to the power 4 from like group of 5.
Yeah.
And then they do really well.
Yeah. Josh Simmons
All
is a beast,
right.
man.
So Tampa Bay, I'm out here looking at running backs, dude. I'm out
It's
here.
a good group, dude. It's a good group.
Yeah, I think they're not going to pay White.
Yeah.
At least I just don't feel confident they are. And Bucky Irvin, he's nice. He's not like your bell cow. So
No.
you're going to need to bring in some guys that can kind of like gel.
I love Monongai.
Wow, you literally?
Did I?
Yeah,
Dude.
that's where I'm going.
His pass blocking ability is so good.
Hey, man, you ain't got to tell me, dude.
God.
He tore up the Hurricanes in the bowl game last year.
Yeah. Dude, that's
And
where
he
you
went
really
off last
find
night
the
against
stars.
Howard, but it was Howard, so.
Yeah, I mean, you end up tearing, like, that's where you really find the star running backs from like smaller schools, in my opinion. Like, that's where I really did fall in love with Tyjae Spears when he faced USC and tore him up. Like, Monongai is somebody who I really do like. He doesn't have an official grade just yet, but running back's next for me, and he's the first guy I'm watching on that. But at 76 for Seattle, we've already gone after Yam Banks, just kidding, safety Nick Amonwari, as well as in the first round, we ended up going after Marcus Mabeau, right tackle out of Purdue, who is my favorite tackle in the class. I think this is the perfect opportunity to test out Cameron Ward. This is ideal for him, especially since DK will be there for one more year. It gives him a safety net because he is boom or bust. He is YOLO or F this. And I love that about him, and I hate it, and I think everybody does. But he's just somebody that if he could just calm down when he's about to make a stupid decision, and like the top end decisions are far better than what we saw from Malik Willis. It's just don't get flustered. And that's a big ask, but that's a risk you can take in the third.
All right. So with the Colts, I'm going to get some cornerback.
Yeah, they need that.
What's the word? Cornerback depth, volatile position. You loved Jalen Jones, and hey, let's see how he does this year. But can't always bet on that. 7th rounder, so there's a little very little investment there.
Right.
I'm gonna go with Maxwell Harrison.
You think that
I think Kentucky. I thought Phillips would have been a perfect fit for the Colts last year. So
but you think that the size is something that they are going to look at because they like a physical, more imposing corner. Harrison's a little skinny. Like I would have looked at based on the corners available, guys like Azariah Thomas, who's like over 200 pounds, Jason Marshall. Like I feel like those are going to be
Thomas. All of 10 snaps to his name.
No, I mean, hey, Azariah Thomas played, I think, over 25 snaps every game.
Last season?
Mm-hmm. Hold on, I'm looking it up. I literally, my keyboard is sideways. Azariah Thomas. Oh, he's number 8 now. I think he was number 20 last year. I forgot he already played.
Yeah, he did.
I'm like, yo, it's sick. So he ended up playing 54 So last year, 54 snaps, 38, 62, 40. Then they have bye week, I think, in week 5. 44, 48, 41, 46, 59, 61. Yeah, I mean, by game.
I mean, I haven't got to him. So, like,
right.
I
Well,
can't
that
say
includes
nothing.
special teams. But on defense, he played 493 reps last year.
Okay.
So,
solid.
I mean, yeah, he just wasn't a starter. Like, he was subbed in. They did a good job at doing that, though. But I can see that being more their physical profile that they're looking for.
Well, I mean,
Steelers,
the dude is 6'1".
he's just 180.
I mean, he's just slender.
Yeah, he's a little sticky. But
I mean, the dude comes with aggression. Like, he has really good run defense.
Yeah, but he's just still sticky. But looking at the Steelers at pick 78, I think people are screaming through their screen, for the love of God, can you like help address the weapons a little bit? We got Shedeur, we got Quinshawn, like, yeah, but we still need a receiver, man. You're talking about all this, you're talking it up about the fact we snipe dudes. Just trust. There's good guys at this spot.
Just
trust, brother. Just trust. And I'm trying to see if they have him on here, because I swear I'll lose my marbles if they don't, and they should, because he was a top-end weapon there for Clemson last year. But a player who I really love as a wide receiver too, and technically I think he could start, is Bo Collins out of Notre Dame, formerly Clemson. But he has a big physical profile, but he has the best, and I repeat, the best release package I've ever seen from a receiver, and he has the best motor I've ever seen from a receiver. Do they have Bo?
No.
You son of a biscuit. Should we assume he goes back? I don't think he can.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's.
So
who do you want? Who do you want me to take? Andrew Armstrong? I don't think he saw a snap last night.
You know what? Out of love for my boy, we'll do that. Yeah. Rest in peace, my boy, Andrew Armstrong.
Did something happen?
I don't know. Well, apparently he's not playing. So, yeah.
I mean, again, that was an easy, like, to be fair, the Stars didn't last long in that game.
Right.
So,
but yeah, Bo Collins out of Notre Dame, formerly Clemson. I just think he's a perfect wide receiver too. And there's a lot of slender, really explosive guys that you can take if Roman Wilson doesn't work out, or Calvin Austin.
Nice. I'm I think this is where I take Jalen Walker.
Ooh, that's a bulky guy.
Yeah.
Like, physical freak.
Yeah, because I'm looking at him as an edge player at this point. If I'm taking him for the Jags.
Have to.
And I mean, he's 245, but he was like a true sophomore last year, so.
And dude, he has so much speed to power at that size.
I mean, this team's backup, their backup edge players are Miles Cole and Tyler Lacey.
God, are you serious? Miles Cole, all 0 bend 6'7".
Miles Cole in my stocking. He's a freak.
He is a freak, but dude, he has 0 edge bend. I mean, I still remember seeing him in Mobile, and it's like, whew, that's their backup. That's what
I legitimately like celebrated, because I don't think he had a win in the one-on-ones on day 1.
Yeah,
and then day 2, I made it a thing where it was like, oh look, he got his first win on. I forgot who it was, but then after that, he had like consecutive wins. So I was like, okay,
let's go. Oh, all right, I'm gonna shut up. For the Browns,
I'm familiar with the game, Miles Cole.
So we went Jack Nelson so far. We also ended up going Ollie Gordon. At pick 80, I'm gonna run this to the podium because I really like the idea of developing this guy. He's even taking reps at defensive interior. But Tyler Barron, edge out of Miami, I just love the fact that he's going to be super versatile. And this is a guy who's a contributor. The difference is, the reason why he's down this far is because flop from Ole Miss to Louisville. Well, Tennessee to Ole Miss to Louisville, now to Miami. I don't really know the full story behind that.
I was going to say, you don't really need to count Louisville.
Right. I mean, there was a strong period of time there for when we considered him to be going to Louisville.
Yeah, but I think I have
Talent's ridiculous though. That's the thing.
Talent's really good.
265, 270, and he is fluid as hell. So worth it.
I don't think it was anything concerning that kept him away from Louisville or caused him to leave.
It's just like bouncing between 4 teams in one offseason theoretically is not necessarily the most decisive look.
I think Louisville kicked a couple of guys. I could be thinking of Tennessee. No, I'm thinking of Louisville. I think they kicked a couple of guys out for like NIL reasons or something. I'm not positive.
Well, regardless, I was praying to see Tyler Barron and Princely Umamulan on that same defensive line.
Yeah.
And he robbed me of that joy. That's okay.
Gosh.
Hey, Miami has a good defensive line this year. Even without, was it Joffrey Harvey? And then
he was doing nothing anyway at Miami.
Oh, come on. He was fun. I mean, he's not going to be NFL grade, but he's still fun.
Yeah,
there's another player I really want to take. I can almost guarantee you won't take him, but
I guarantee you I won't either. Because I want to go corner again. And I'm going to take a shot. I'm going to take a shot on Tommy Hill for the Rams.
Ooh, I could so see that. Oh,
no,
really?
Not.
Oh,
okay.
I
do like Tommy Hill though.
Yeah.
They don't have him. Instead though, I'm gonna. Oh, you know what? I might as well. Yeah, I'm gonna go with my boy Jabbar.
Yeah,
Muhammad.
I was really hoping I could take him for the Chargers.
Yeah, Tommy's got much better, a much better build.
Yeah.
But Jabbar, he's been doing it for a little bit longer. I don't think. I mean, the Rams, that system, they do a good job of even if corners lack in size.
Yeah.
They find a way to make them work on the outside. Like Darius Williams, he was great. He was really good for the Rams. Went to Jacksonville and they tried him as a slot just because he was undersized. He was like, "No, man, God, put me outside. I'm an outside corner."
Right.
They did. He played great. Now he's back with the Rams. So.
Oh my God. I'm looking at something really quick, but for me, I am unbelievably excited to draft this player because I mean, it kind of sucks that he had to leave Miami in order for us to really fall in love with him.
I had to leave Miami.
But we're going to be seeing him tomorrow versus Clemson. Colby Young, wide receiver out of Georgia. Wow, unbelievable body positioning on contested catches. He might not generate the best separation on planet Earth, and I still think he does a good job.
He legitimately looks like a grown man.
All right.
I mean, just in size compared to the defense.
Right. I mean, he's what, 6'3", 215 or something?
He's huge. He was one of these guys that I was like, it will not shock me if he ends up being a first rounder.
Yes. I mean, the thing is, this guy's body control is ridiculous. He positions himself perfectly. If a defender's on him, he just knows how to essentially box him out down the field. And it's mind-boggling. It genuinely was something where I have a 5% category for contested catch ability because it's not every day you're going to be doing that. But I actually had to give him extra points in my little it factor because of how special that is.
I had to break my system.
And that's why I have an ain't factor. It's the checks and balances, man. He is so fun, though. I think he could be a monster, especially with Raw Thomas now being out for the year.
Because, he's out of the program. He's gone.
Dismissed for the year because he had to take boxing lessons on somebody that he knows. But
wow, okay.
And jokes aside, that's a shitty situation. I think we all kind of we're pretty pissed off when that happened. Yeah. All right, you got the Bears, buddy.
Yeah, this might feel funky, but I mean,
you've done a good job so far.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. At this point, I don't care about my needs. I just kind of want to
BPA it.
Yeah, just kind of want to take the best players available. I'm happy with taking a safety edge, guard/tackle.
Oh, I was about to say, I'm like, I was like, you just took all three of those. And then I saw you're looking at your picks.
So I think I'm going to, I don't know how he's playing right now.
Okay.
But like I said, literally right now, because he's currently playing Temple right now. But I'm gonna go with Deion Burks just because. Am I? Am I?
Oh, he's returning again.
He's returning. Wow. So yeah, I wonder how Burks is doing. I mean, since we can't answer that question, I'll obviously
someone answer
jump
in
to
the
the
chat.
next. You know what? Let's really swing then. Let's go with Evan Stewart. If this man could fill out his frame, and he's a great athlete. If he could fill out his frame and just like become a receiver, like as in the route running and just knowing how to tempo his routes and not just trying to go out there and out athlete everybody. Because like even just by doing that, he was pretty freaking deadly for A&M.
Yeah.
Who has been a hot mess for a couple of years.
Mm-hmm. You say that again.
Shots at Jimbo now.
There was a question of who was picked for Detroit, and Jack Sawyer as well as Jalen Royals, wide receiver out of Utah State.
Western Michigan's up on Wisconsin.
No, are you serious?
Yeah.
God, dude. Freaking Tyler Van Dyke, man. I swear.
Oh. Deion Burks had 3 touchdowns tonight. I know it was on Temple. No, tell me this isn't the weirdest stat line, though. 6 receptions, 36 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's weird. I am so glad. I almost put him for 75 yards. Like,
did you?
I did.
You should have looked at his touchdown total.
I know. I was debating putting touchdowns in there for him, but it's dude, there's so many mouths to feed in that Oklahoma receiving room. I was like, I can't. Like, there's just too many mouths to feed to do that.
Dude, yeah, there is a lot. Like, here, let me just run through it. I don't know if Nick Anderson played tonight, but he didn't have a stat line.
Oh, man. Freaking Stanford. Dude, I put Antonio Gates Jr. getting a touchdown today. That didn't work. That's not going to work.
Dude. Freaking Michigan. Didn't they struggle?
Michigan State's right now playing, and I think it's like 16-10.
They're winning 16-10.
Oh, it ended?
Yeah.
Oh, balls. He got 3 targets. No, he didn't even get a freaking target. Oh my. Well, I don't know. Never mind. Those are the last 3 games. Regardless, Patriots, right?
That's you,
Patriots. You have been in control of the Patriots this time. You went Kelvin Banks, Mansour Delane, as well as Ashton Gillette. Cool. So you've addressed tackle, edge, corner. I think those are the primary positions to target and go after. I do think that it's the 3rd round. You could try to get a committee backfield in here, but you did just end up paying to kind of solidify who your main number 1 guy is. Yeah. So, I mean, this is a situation that I'm not super duper comfortable in, but what do you think about the idea of Deontay Lawson developing him for a couple years with Mayo?
I'm okay with that.
Let's try it. Let's do it. I really like Deontay Lawson. He's going to be going eventually anyways, but might as well take him to the Pats. The Pats.
All right, we got the Washington Commanders. And you know what I loved about their draft thus far?
What have you loved?
You have addressed positions of value. Corner, wide receiver. Did I see a wide receiver there?
And tackle.
Wide receiver. Tackle. Dude, positions of value. I'll take it, dude. I love it. And we're going to keep addressing positions of value.
Okay.
And I'm going to say, screw it. Let's take this shot. Patrick Payton, he's got the explosiveness. He's a good athlete.
Oh, brother.
He's a good athlete. Can he put it together? We'll find out. But at this juncture, at 3rd round, bet your sweet cheeks. This is your 4th pick. If you are burning this pick, at least you're doing it at a worthwhile position with a guy with traits.
Yeah. Okay. Patrick Payton it is. So for the Packers, man, this my picks thing is not the best look. You got Dallin Walker, Davison Igbinison. So defensive tackle and corner. I think it's the proper time to look at receiver. And let's see who's actually offered, i.e., didn't go back to school, as we like to say.
Oh gosh.
Oh my goodness. My next best receiver, looking at my board, I got Ricky White, Jalen Royals is gone. I'm not going to go Antonio Gates Jr. at this point. Ty Felton, it feels a little early for him. You know what? I actually really like CJ Daniels from Liberty. And I feel like that's kind of the similar vibe. Was he like 6'3", 215 again? Like really good frame. 6'2", 200. So
He's at
regardless.
LSU right now.
I know, yeah. So he's from Liberty, went to LSU, but somebody who is a relatively solid route runner. I mean, he just doesn't generate separation all that well, but he's a contested catch freak. And I feel like with the adequate deep speed that he has, that's somebody who I'm willing to take a shot on. So we'll go after my boy, not Kyron Lacey, excuse me, but CJ Daniels.
All right. So New York Jets. I've gone corner. I've gone quarterback. I think now flip. Now I'm looking at a guy that's returned to school.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll look elsewhere. I was considering Dante Trader.
Ooh, I know you like him. He's explosive.
Yeah, they like Tony Adams though, which I like. I liked Tony Adams coming out. Yeah. I didn't expect him to be, starter in the NFL, but here we are.
Yeah,
I don't mind it. So maybe, just maybe, I think I'll go with Sab.
I do like Keon.
Yeah. Looked really good when he became like the full-time starter because of injury last year for the Wolverines.
The sob. Okay, well, at 88 for the Texans, we have addressed Harold Perkins, linebacker / edge rusher, as well as Ephesians Pricelock, boundary corner. I do feel like this could be a quality time to look at offensive line. Granted, the options are relatively, and by relatively, I mean extremely thin for actually quality offensive linemen. I do want to throw a shout out to somebody who we might take later, but it's Falalili Fa'amo, the Washington State right tackle.
Still gotta get to him.
Yeah, he's a guard for me pretty securedly, but as a day 3 guy, I think that he's someone who I feel very confident in developing properly and actually being a really solid player. I just don't see the value of it here. I just really don't. So, I mean, I feel like I have to go defensive again and just continue going best player available. I mean, to me, that is Sebastian Castro, but it's probably one of the positions I don't want to go and address. So I'm actually going to go pure edge rusher here. And when going pure edge rusher, there's a player who I've really liked since he's been a true freshman, and that's Gabe Jacos out of Illinois. He was someone who popped off to me when I was watching Jerzon Newton originally, and he's a fun guy to toss in here.
Okay. Nice. All right, Dallas Cowboys. I'm just going to stick with offense. I want running back. I want quarterback. I might as well go wide receiver. So, I'm stuck between 2 speedsters. Don't worry. I'll pick one of them. I'm going to go with Sam Brown.
Ooh.
Maybe not.
The Miami kid. Oh, yeah. Man, he is so fun. Him and Matt Golden are phenomenal, by the way.
Yeah.
Did you get to
Brown's not here, but I didn't get into
I don't think Matt Golden is either.
Oh, neither's Felton. Son of a gun, dude. They have all these players.
Ty.
None of the ones I want.
Dude, you know what? This is the last time we're ever using PFN Mock Draft Simulator. Sorry, boys. Want to show love to you, but
I
don't have base players.
I'm going to go with another vertical speedster, J. Michael Sturdivant. Oh, whoops.
Do you know what sucks about Sturdivant? Pretty sure he changed his number from 1 to 7 this year. And I'm like, that's a loss of massive aura when you take away the number 1. Because it looks so good on a receiver.
Oh, maybe he's lucky number 7.
Yeah, but 1 just looks better. On him, it looked fantastic. So,
yeah, he's a guy that just needs to become a better route runner. Good speedster, great size.
I want to hear your thoughts on this. This was a note that I've had for the past 2 years now on J. Michael Sturdivant. He runs the route that the play, if you're looking at it on paper, he runs that route to a T, but he doesn't actually run the route that is best adjusted for the play. Like if a corner is in his way, he's still going to run directly into the corner. Like he just runs what he needs to, and he doesn't evolve it for what he should run. And that's what kind of knocked my opinion.
Yeah, there's no creativity.
Yeah, zero creativity for that matter.
Yeah, because you see it as a ball carrier as well.
Yeah, yeah.
He's like, "Oh, I'm fast. I'm gonna just fly by you."
Right. For the Eagles, dressed edge and tight end Colson Loveland, Shamar Turner. Again, not many things this team really needs to address. Linebacker, I feel like there is enough developing right there to where there is one guy who I do think could actually work out in this squad, and this is the range for him. Is he not even on here? I swear to God, you gotta be kidding me. Kaiser, I really like Jack Kaiser. He's not on here though. He went back to school after only 1 year of starting. Everybody, that's going to be the story. If he's available, that's the guy I'm going after. That's a kick in the nuts, man. But
that's wild. Kaiser, that's kind of a big name though.
I know. Well, I mean, the guy who I'm going to draft, he's not even on here either, dude. It was going to be Blake Miller. But we'll find someone who's more fun. We'll find somebody who is available.
If anything, hey, now you're going to hear a lot of names.
This is true. I mean, this team just doesn't really need much, man. I don't think
good teams are like that.
I know. I mean, that's the thing. I'm going to go after Nicholas Martin. We're going to do it. He's a fun linebacker at Oklahoma State. I think that you can bring some excitement to the table with getting somebody who, well, I mean, you have a better scouting report of him than I do. So if you want to go and fanboy out on Nick Martin, feel free.
Ridiculous athlete.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, he moves so stinking well.
Yeah.
As a pass rusher, like, because like he's undersized, but he's feisty.
Right.
Like he can take on blocks. Not necessarily take on blocks, but he reacts really well to like,
right.
Like if you get if an offensive lineman's able to get their grips on him, yeah, he's done. But he does a good job being able to like get into like the pads and like kind of like give a jab and then just dip.
Yeah.
Really good at that. And honestly, the coverage stuff's coming along. He made a couple of big plays last year, but he's still kind of like a tick late.
Yeah.
To anticipate. And I for the most part, I'd call him more of a relatively minimal gain type of linebacker. Not necessarily the splash play and coverage type of linebacker, but it's hard. It's real hard.
Yeah. You're up, my buddy.
Shucks, I know I am up. Bengals. The Bengals, what have we done thus far for the Bengals? I feel like I took
Are you also highlighting the logos every time you're trying to scroll?
Yeah. This is probably the worst, like trying to check out your it's
right.
Yeah. I took Tate Ratledge and Abdul Carter. That kind of feels very nice. Feels pretty good. So they brought in Zach Moss on a 2-year deal. And I think that's fine. Chase Brown's going to be the more explosive player.
Right.
So, like, I feel like you could, if you want to take a shot, you can. I'm going to go with Damon Martinez. Get that legit banger between the tackles.
Okay.
Just from a size perspective, like 6 foot, 238. And I mean, I imagine they probably, if there was any guaranteed money on that Zach Moss deal, it was all front loaded.
I could see that. Let me see. Do they not even have Katron Allen in here? My brother. Okay. Well, that was my idea for the Bills at 92 is to get a thumper. Yeah, another thumper. That is not going to happen because according to this, he ended up going back to school.
Oh, take the other Penn State running back.
Nick Singleton is not graded as highly. So I will not be doing that. But so far for the Bills, we have addressed. Where the hell is their little sit? There we go. So we got Alec Iomaner, so big boundary receiver. You got Kamen Rucker, developmental edge rusher. Barrett Carter, nice quality linebacker there. That's a good 1-2-3 punch. I'm going to go after a defensive back here because I have this player rated as a top 20 player in the class. Double checking my notes. He is 16. He's just a little bit athletically limited. Sebastian Castro, defensive back at Iowa. I think this guy is the real deal. Unbelievably smart. I've seen plays where he covers 3 different guys all in the same play. To me, that speaks unbelievably leaps and bounds about the guy.
I think that's a really good fit for the Bills defense too.
And he's a big hitter. So yeah, I like him.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Torrey Horton for the Jets.
He looks so good in green.
Dude, and we're going to keep him. We're going to keep him in green. Get that guy because Mike Williams is on a 1-year deal.
Yeah.
So get someone who can win downfield, not just at the contested catch, but also with speed.
Okay. Well, Ravens, we got Jaden Roberts and Jaden Higgins. So we got 2 Jadens there. Any other Jadens that are good? We can kind of have the trio here. I don't think so. But so we got offensive line help as well as wide receiver help. I think they could still theoretically go after a developmental tackle now. I just don't really see the player for that. Just we have thoroughly expended our options based on the players that are still available. Defensively, I do think that you could start taking some more swings on the best player available. And looking at the best players available, man, I wish that BJ Green performed better. He was
all right. He wasn't bad.
He was but I'm saying like 3rd round type of material.
Oh yeah, he's firmly 3rd round guy, but I thought he was fine.
I would say he might be below that, but
I think he's like mid to late. I think that's.
I think this is a team that has the ability to develop some corner depth, and Azariah Thomas to me is my number 12 player in the class. He does have those 500 coverage reps last year. He's over 200 pounds. Was he like 6'2", like 210 or something like that? Ridiculous. There's something really good about size. 6'2", 194. Sorry, not 210. 6'2", 194. But he flies, very nuanced, but he's very sticky as a man corner. He uses physicality incredibly well. And I could just see him as well as Stickbug Wiggins creating a nasty 1-2 combo to go forward in the AFC North.
All right. San Francisco 49ers. So I'm going to go linebacker here. I don't think they have Deontay Lawson.
I already took it.
Oh, you took him? That's why he's not in there. Okay, that's fine. Because I'll go with they don't have Jason Henderson.
Oh, damn. What's up with this sim, man?
Yeah,
there's names of dudes.
We've already bashed it. I'm not going to bash it further.
I know, but like KC Osai versus some of these guys that are pretty solid names is surprising.
Surprising. Going Jamon Dumas Johnson. He was someone I was hoping to break out last year. Didn't really happen. He's now at Kentucky. Kentucky has pushed out a couple of linebacker players in the last few years, like Jamin Davis, Trevin Wallace. So, and I mean, honestly, I think Dumas Johnson, his game is really well put together.
Right.
It's just he doesn't have a lot of the splash plays.
All right. So KC, I want to check one thing really quick with their roster at the moment. But I am looking at a player who I love very much. And I'm looking at the depth here. Oh, yeah, I think this is perfectly fine. Even though I love Carson Steele, and I think he's going to be a really solid RB3, I still see a... Huh?
Said he's their fullback.
Yeah, he's a bruiser. I still see a home run hitting potential here that can relieve some stress from Isaiah Pacheco. And it's a player who I have technically as my RB1, unless you're actually looking for someone to block. That's Trevor Etienne. I think that he brings the top end speed, explosiveness, and I think he's going to have a big year for Georgia.
Nice. All right. Last pick here, the San Francisco 49ers. Looking here, and I think I've kind of settled on 2 different players. One's Jonah Monheim.
I mean, did they bring back Kingston into the practice
No,
squad?
Kingston's now with the Panthers. Yeah.
Talk us. That was to me.
That blew my mind because I was
That
like, this
blew me.
guy's lit it up in camp. He's looked good in
Right.
game.
Right.
He blew up his pro day. Like,
Yeah.
I thought he was a sure thing to make the roster. But regardless, Monheim, another guy with good movement skills. He's moving to center because that's where he thinks he's going to project the best in the NFL. So now this is a guy that's played literally everywhere on the offensive line. I'm literally starting to talk myself into him.
Okay.
Because that wasn't what I was going to go with. I just wanted to highlight him. I'm going to go with Jonah Monheim.
There we go,
Because
baby.
Riley Mills ain't here. Did I spell Riley right?
Oh, he's not in here.
Yeah, man. Snuffed.
Damn. Wait.
So-
We're not supposed to. We're not supposed to. Oh, wait. What? He isn't here. Okay.
Yeah,
What?
dude. Isn't that
Oh,
wild?
I have it filtered by freaking running back. I'm like,
Yeah. No, I didn't see Riley Mills. Regardless, I'm going to talk about him for a quick second. I ended up going with Monheim, which I think is fine. But Mills, like, the dude is he's probably one of the best run defenders, I think, in this interior class. Pass rush, he's still putting it together, but even then, he's still been tough to block because he's strong. Even though he's like sub 300, he is like a strong, like what he's like 298, 295. Let's see, 297, right in between. Almost had it, but he is strong. He's actually pretty explosive, and you're willing to take that high floor and work on the ceiling. Work on just trying to not clean up, but add to his arsenal as a pass rusher. I really like Riley Mills, man. I think not a lot of people are going to appreciate him like I do because a lot of people love Howard Cross, and Howard Cross is great. He's great. They're both great.
Yeah,
that's why they're going to beat A&M tomorrow.
Probably. It's not hard to do. I think Notre Dame's a sneaky playoff team.
Oh, I don't even have them as a sneaky one.
Oh, you think it's like a guaranteed thing?
I think as long as they don't lose, I think they could lose 2 games and still be in.
Yeah, I mean it's a 12 team, so yeah.
Yeah. So. Well, you would think, and I started whipping it together, and I ended up having a 2 team get left out. Like,
anyways,
yeah. I mean, we could do that real quick if you want.
Do you want to close out this video first?
Hey, thanks for hanging out with us. You see that red little button down there that says subscribe? Hit subscribe. Improve your life. Improve yourself. Improve your draft knowledge. Hit that thumbs up while you're at it. And as always, thank you, Alex. And until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.